Tango has this reputation of a very emotional, romantic, and passionate dance. And indeed, when we dance, we have these feelings of closeness, intimacy, warmth, caring for each other. But this doesn't really translate to a love story outside of the dance floor. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why tango feels and looks really so emotional and romantic, and why looks can be deceiving. Welcome to Good Night Tango. I'm Christos. I'm dancing tango for 9 years now, and for the last 4 years, I'm also writing about that in my blog. Obviously, even if you're not dancing tango, if you see videos or photos of your friends dancing tango, you will probably think that the people who are dancing are involved in a romantic relationship. Very often seems like they are in an affair. But most of the times, this is not the case. So what happens? First of all, let's start to explain why does it feel so romantic? Why does it seem so romantic? Why does it look so romantic? The first element that contributes into this romantic sensation is the physical proximity. When we dance, we are chest to chest. We are very close to each other. Even if we're not dancing in close embrace, we are very close to each other. Usually, people have different zones of comfort in terms of the communication, in terms of the people that they have they are communicating with, and the space that is around us in terms of an arm's length is what we call our intimate zone. It's something that if somebody enters that zone, if somebody enters that circle, we either feel that they are a friend and we allow them, or we feel that they are an enemy and we're getting ready to fight. So it's a very private and very, guarded space. This proximity, this very close embrace that we have, is automatically signaling that, okay, they're probably close together. They know each other, they're close together, they have this kind of friendship, relationship that allows them to be in close proximity with each other. The second element that contributes towards this emotional sensation is that we have this emotional attunement between the dancers in the couple. When we dance, we feel each other, we respond to each other's reactions, to each other's actions, we sense each other's bodies, we understand if they are tensing, if they are relaxing, how they are moving, and we react to that. And this creates this synergy, this harmony between the couple, which looks again like the couple is having a relationship, having an affair. Now, of course, it goes without saying that the third element is the music itself. The music itself is a music that, in many cases, creates this kind of emotional and nostalgic and romantic sensation. Even if you just hear the music, if you just listen to the music, you get these sensations, even if you are not dancing. So it is something that, by itself, it creates an atmosphere that, together with the previous two elements, it contributes into creating this look and feel of this romantic relationship between the couple. And the fourth element that contributes into this romantic sensation is the so-called, I would say, shared vulnerability. When we dance, we have this embrace. The embrace is a gesture that, even from ancient times, if you think about it, is a gesture that signals that I'm open and I'm vulnerable and I allow you to come into my space. The same thing happens in both cases, from both sides of the embrace. This happens with a stranger many times. I mean, the people that we dance with, maybe people that we don't know, maybe people that are complete strangers to us. Having this courage, I would say, to open your embrace and let somebody that you don't know in your embrace and trust them is something that you don't do with anybody. It's something that you don't do very often and very easily with strangers. This again signals that there is a closeness between the people in the couple. If you don't know and you see two people dancing tango that they don't know each other before, they're strangers, just by looking that they are very close together, they are embracing, they are opening themselves up, they are signaling that they are vulnerable to the other person and they allow them to their space, creates this illusion, I would say, that there is an emotional relationship between them. So having said all that, let's see the other side of the coin. why is it not really a romantic relationship? Why doesn't it really lead to a romantic relationship after the dance? The first thing is that it's a timed experience, it's a time box experience. We usually dance with somebody for 3 or 4 songs, which is about 10 to 12 minutes, and that's all. So you have just this experience. You are not having a constant relationship with the other person. It's your 10 minutes with this other person, and that's all. So there's a beginning of the story, there's a blooming of the story, and then there's an end. And there's no next steps required, there's no continuation required. And we all know that, and we all respect that. The second element is that all this that you see when we dance is a learned skill. It's something that we learn how to do. We learn how to embrace, we learn how to keep our posture, we learn how to walk. All this is a skill. It looks like it comes natural, it looks like it is like it would be in real life, like a confession or like an intimate moment of a couple, but it really isn't, because it's something that we learn how to do, and only in the context of a dance, or mostly in the context of a dance. And yes, it may translate as behavior outside of the dance, but it doesn't need to happen and translate in behavior outside of the dance with a specific partner. It can be with our normal relationships. Many people in Tango have relationships and marriages with people outside of Tango that they are not dancing. The same kind of behaviors might transfer to outside of Tango, like your embrace and how you hold space for the other person. But this doesn't mean that when you do this for your partner, with your partner, it is part of a romantic relationship. It is part of the dance. Two different things. The third element that also creates helps in this kind of separation is that this shared intimacy is not shared only with one partner. When we go dancing socially, we usually don't dance just with one partner. Maybe if you are a couple in real life and you want to dance, you might dance only with your partner, but this doesn't happen very often. And most of the social dances, most of the tango dancers out there are not actually going into a milonga and dance the whole night just with one person. So it's a shared intimacy that happens with many people. If all these standards that feel emotional and romantic led to a relationship after that, we would walk out of a night maybe with 10 different relationships. I mean, who wants that and who can do that? And I think the key element for all this separation is that we are projecting a feeling, we are projecting an emotion, not targeted to the specific person. So we feel something because of the music, we want to express the emotion in the music, we express the emotion in the music, but the emotion that we express is not really a desire for the other person. It might be just an emotion that we express without the necessity to translate into a desire for the other person. And we all know that. Because feeling the emotion and expressing an emotion and targeting an emotion for a specific person are two totally different things. The problem is that usually when somebody expresses an emotion, we are automatically thinking, who are you targeting? We are not very used to expressing an emotion just like this, without any specific target. And our minds automatically want to fill the blank, and we automatically think that the emotion expressed is targeted to your partner. But this is not the case. If I wanted to give you a parallel, I would say think about actors in a movie. If you see a romantic scene or a sensual scene between two actors in a movie, does this mean that the actors are actually in a real relationship between them? Usually not. How they do it? They create all these elements, the closeness, the intimacy, the vulnerability, all these elements that we want to see or we identify with a romantic relationship. So they create this illusion that there is a romantic relationship, but actually the characters are having a relationship, but themselves, the real actors, the real people behind them, are not. Similarly in tango, when we dance, we express an emotion within the music. The music is like our movie. We are acting within that context. And acting in that context and expressing an emotion within that context doesn't mean that this emotion is real for the other person, for the other real person. That's a difference. It is real for the characters that we create during the tanda, during the dance, but after that, we're just two strangers that we dance together. And I think this is one element in tango that makes it so special. It feels like a playground. You feel free to express honestly and openly an emotion without having in the back of your mind that there is an expected real life continuation of that. You can have many romantic moments without consequences, intimate experiences without expectations, and emotional connection without pressure. So let me know in the comments, what other elements do you think contribute in this romantic sensation of this dance? And what other elements are behind the scenes that help you in expressing these emotions but without leading to a romantic relationship? And if you want to know if tango is a good place to find a love partner, maybe this video over here can help you with that. Check it out and don't forget to move forward both in the dance floor and in your life. Bye!